Okay, well, let me know if you can hear me now. I came inside. I don't know, it was too sunny out there. What the heck was going on? Let me know you can hear me. I'm going to change phones too because I thought, wow, maybe something's wrong with the phone. I don't know. All technology. So, can you hear me? Oh, some people there, maybe. Maybe that's a little more interesting back there. Yeah. On our, what we call the nest. The nest. We have two apartments. One on the 7th floor we call the cloud. Everybody's in the clouds nowadays. And this is called the nest. And this is the one with a porch. I don't know. Yeah, see, that's the out there, but boy, I don't know what happened. I just lost the video somehow. I couldn't see anything. So I thought, hey, I'll come in here and do it here. It's a little better. So let me know if you see me. Can you see me now or not? I don't know. I don't know. If it rains or freezes, as long as I got my plastic Jesus glued to the dashboard of my car. Well, that's something back in the 40s. Yes, I can see you. How about Robin? Can you hear me too? Can you hear me? Yes, I can see you. Yes, but can you hear me? Yes, we all want to be heard, don't we? Because I want to kind of talk about how to treat government officials. I mean, to me, what's great about what's going on now is people are learning to use the government, and that's the key. You know, if you know how to use the government, you'll learn how to get more out of this stuff, because that's what you have to do. And it's really true for everywhere, but it's more true in the government because we don't use the government much unless we go down to the DMV, you know, and we hate that, and the people there hate their job, and so we think everybody's like that, or the IRS, yeah. And that's what we know as the government. So can you hear me? I see you could see me, but I don't know if you guys could hear me or not. So let me know if you could hear. You know, like with these things, men don't have many ears. They don't listen much. So it's a new phenomenon for a lot of. Yes, you can hear. Great, Robin. Oh, at least you're the one here. Okay. Yes, I mean, don't forget, for a year now or more, I've been helping people through Let's Go Help, and I'm here, you know, learn about government programs, okay? And there's more money now given out in government programs probably than anywhere else, and there will be more coming out. And there's a lot of the first, you know, COVID program that is still giving out. I mean, like the last video I did yesterday or the day before showed you about, you know, a dozen or more programs that are just popping up everywhere. It's not as big, because it's not one from one big place like in the federal government giving out everything. These are local, so you got to dig them out. It's going to make you better. It's going to make you a better person on how to live in our information society, because that's what it's about. Do you know how to, you know, live in Google? Nobody really teaches you how to really use Google. People tell you, oh, Google's there and just search and whatever. But there's tricks, because otherwise you're going to get tied up. This is, you know, it's like learning to drive. You don't get in the car to go, you know, so we don't run into each other and everything, and we're polite. We have to set up rules of the road. Well, there's very few rules in Google, particularly what's on there. And that's why what you're going to find is people that want to get your money and not the people that can really help you do things in life. So that's what I want to talk about today, because I'm getting so many letters now on Let's Go Help, you know, responses. And if you remember, go to the testimonials and you'll see them. We've got 100 or so, just wonderful things. But the new ones that are coming in now are really talking about how it was different than they thought it would be. You know, and that's what I want to get across. This is hard. Okay, getting this stuff is hard. It's not easy. So I mean, everybody wants it, particularly me. I'm a salesman at heart, or whatever. I was just on your channel this morning. Okay, and everybody wants to make it easy, and salesmen want you to think it's easy when it isn't. It's going to be a lot of work, and you're going to have to take a lot of work to do it. To make it happen for you. And that is true with everything. So that's why if you teach yourself how to get these programs that are available now, it really are the same tools that you'll be able to use for anything you want to do in life. That's what you have to do. Otherwise, you become a subject to salesmen. And that's what Google is. Google is a dreamland for salesmen, because they can go on there and try to find you and beat you on the head and get your money. And the things in life that don't cost money, don't do that. So that's why you have to learn the technique and tools to getting the help you need. And that's not just going and sitting in Google. No. Here's some recent. And by the way, I have a report I'll put in the discussion that tells you how to use Google, tells you how to use people and everything. So it's really research secrets for Google. It's a survival guide for Google survival guide. And it's really a survival guide for living in our information society. We have so much goddamn information. It's been growing exponentially since the 50s, but it's now, because of the internet, it's overwhelming. And so you have to learn how to use this. Like it or not, it's sort of like, if you want to get anywhere in this country, you've got to get a car or something, that travels. If you want to walk to New York, fine, take you a couple days, I guess. If you want to get there quickly, so if you want to get information or help quickly, you have to learn how to use the system and not have it use you. Okay, here comes the evangelical in me, right? Okay, here's a letter I got today. From Deborah on Let's Go Help. She's a member, and she's right, Mr. Lesko. Oh, I hate when people say Mr. Lesko. I know that's polite, but when I hear Mr. Lesko, I look for my father. And he died like 20, 30 years ago. And I'm 77, so I'm next on Sports Call. So she says, Mr. Lesko, you told us, okay, that's in quote, you told us, just apply. What the heck do you have to lose? And if they say no, just appeal it. You're never going to guess unless you ask. You're never going to know unless you ask. Well, I did just that, she says. And boy, am I a happy camper. I'm receiving EDD benefits, and I'm still amazed. So thank you for your advice. See, that's what you have to realize. You just apply. You just fill up for it. Apply. If you were looking for a job, right? I don't like the color of that building. I don't think I'm gonna apply for a job there. Oh, it smells on this block. I don't think I'm gonna. You can always find a reason not to apply, right? And that means you'll be with empty hands. So apply. And that's what Deborah's saying, is because I've been saying that now because I see it when there's a lot of stuff out there and things were pretty much easy to get. Now it's not going to be that way, and it's going to be harder. And so, but to survive, you have to dig deeper in you. The survivors are the ones who dig into themselves and hopefully, how is Superman going to get out of this problem? And you're Superman or Superwoman or whatever you want to be, Super Squirrel, to get out of the problem. And that's what it's about. Okay, now here's a wonderful story too that I just got in the last day or two. Kim Mosley. Thank you so much. And to share an update, because she wrote before about how she was doing. Last Thursday, I got an email back from one of the local charities I contacted saying my application was approved to pay 1 month's back rent. So there she is. She wrote an application, got 1 month's back rent. Okay, now listen to this part because it goes into a little more detail of what is necessary to do. Tomorrow, my husband and I will be going to pick up the check. I can't begin to tell you how much more relieved I feel knowing that I can get help with this burden without going deeper into debt. And all I have to do is, listen to this, be patient, be organized, and willing to be vulnerable. That's it. Nobody wants to help a smartass. So if you go and acting like, oh, I know everything, and you better help me, and things like that. See, the headline of this, I said, start yelling at the bureaucrat. That was a joke. I hope you got that. Because the more you yell at these people, the less you're going to get, So you can't yell at people. They're getting the same paycheck. It's stupid. You're stupid. Like I'm sure, and I do that. I did that on some bank person who just frustrates the hell out of me. That poor person did, but she's just reading from the goddamn screen. I'm trying to solve a problem, and every time I'd say no, but this is it, she'd give the same answers, and I just got pissed. So it's normal. But if somebody has the power, and particularly the money, you're not going to beat them. I think the best advice to anyone applying for relief or a loan is to get super focused and have their papers organized for cold calling. You hear that? For cold calling. You got to call. Everybody wants to know that, I'll just find this website and fill out this form. I'll get a check next Thursday. If I don't, I'll find another. No, cold calling. I sometimes use a script to be sure I get to say everything I want without wasting the representative's time. So you write down, maybe after you call one or two of these organizations that may help you, and you write down, what you really should be saying, because they'll tell you, after you talk to one or two, well, are you this, are you that, or whatever. So in your opening statement, you could save a lot of time for everybody. When you speak with people requesting funding or relief, you will be asked to provide an accounting of your expenses. I recommend putting this together in a list on a spreadsheet, whatever it is. I mean, you put it on toilet paper, as long as you have a list. You don't have to know what a spreadsheet is, okay? Okay, you also can move things along by running all your documentation through a scanner. You have a scanner? Be helped. The library has one, but maybe they're not open. Kinko's and things like that. Or call one or two first and see what it is. She's been doing this, saving it to a file on your computer and creating a separate folder for each item. For example, lease, IDs, tax return. That's probably the kinds of things they want to see, okay? So if you're all set with that, but like I say, you may want to call one or two first to see the kinds of things they are. Make sure you rename each file to make it easy for the person looking at the documents. In other words, just a file of stuff. What is the stuff? No. So each document has a file. IRS form, let's go. Lease, let's go. Whatever. Okay. Lastly, as I dig deeper into some government websites, I am seeing that it's possible to schedule an appointment online. I can't say this enough, okay? So you dig in there, you could get an appointment online. Thank heaven for Matthew Lesko. Oh, my mother wrote this. Who would have ever thought that help can come from contacting government agencies and local charities that are actually, listen to this, ready, willing, and able to offer us grants. If you think about it, it's incredible. I think it's incredible too. Now, how do I convince people? What it is, I can't convince people because you'll hear me say that, and then people go out and make one phone call, they didn't get a check. Screw this, man. Now, you have nothing better to do unless you're making a fortune doing something else. If you're not making a fortune doing something else, man, this is all you should be doing. Because the worst case is you're learning how to use today's information society. You have to learn that to succeed at anything. You can't think the website. That's why marketing and salesmen are so bad in this country, because they make you believe, just do these 7 things and you're going to. No. You're going to have to do 50 things and over and over and over again. That's the only way. Just think of anything you really tried to do hard in life. You go out and want to start for the baseball team. You're shitty. Well, I want to play the first thing. No, you can't do that. And you learn to, and see what I saw, in growing kids, the first time they start a walk, How many times did that kid fall on his ass trying to get his legs up and walk? Yeah. And what we want to do, oh, it's easy. Just put a foot in front of the other and walk. Well, anybody could do that. Look at that guy over there walk. No, that guy over there is walking, had to go through that thing. Yeah. And he's selling you something, like me, how to go through that thing. Probably isn't, because he thinks it's magic. And he's trying to make you believe it's magic and that it's not hard work. Well, it is. Okay. Here's another one. Terry from Vermont. This was a special one I just got today. Listen to this. You are true to my word, to your word. She's writing to me. You are true to your word. Must be an ex-wife? No. It is hard work. Takes talking on the phone and takes time and patience. But it pays off. It pays off. See, it pays off. Where is it? But it pays off, okay? And still there's no guarantee. Yeah. But you have to do it, whether it pays off or not. And particularly as times get tighter, people who are going to put it in are going to get it. Okay, I have been able to get, listen to this, power, electricity, gas, car, food, and other essentials, and I have a huge goal in mind, many irons in the fire. Thanks again, Mr. Lesko, for the extra kickstart. Your info and enthusiasm is infectious. It's maybe going to have a pandemic if it's infectious. But you provide just the right medicine. Okay. Info. That's the right medicine. Info. You have saved our lives and changed my family's lives forever. Man, I mean, there's nothing else I have that's more important than to do is to help somebody do that. That's why I'm going to be here till my face falls in a bowl of soup at dinner. They carry me away to the morgue. You know, what do we have better to do in life than to help each other? And that's what I'm trying to do, is show you how you can get not only the resources to get by, but then the help to start something that you think is important to do in life and that you're making a contribution. I think that's the way we grow forever, if we feel we're making a contribution. If we just feel like we're kicked to the side of the road, man, we don't want to do shit for society, right? But if we start doing something for society, and society gives us a positive feedback, then we want to do more. I mean, it's like crack or ice cream. You just get one scoop. So that's why, even if times are hard, to go out and volunteer somewhere, go to 211.org. And find a local organization you can volunteer for. The best thing comes when I see help. You gave help really someone. You bet. But what I'm saying is that I didn't know I had that power until I saw it happen. I thought, oh, I'm a schmuck, barely got through college. Actually, I flunked English in college, barely got through, was on and off probation every semester. And now I have 2 New York Times bestsellers, and they're doing more than I could ever done. I think I could do. And that's why it's just fun to keep doing something. And that's why, to me, that if you want to get my report on how to retire in 3 years, it's really taking 3 years out on a side or whatever to find something you really love doing in life that you can contribute to society. It doesn't cost any money to do that. It just takes trial and error, sort of like getting financial help. And you build that until to a point where it feeds you. I recently filed for an EID loan. How long will it take to receive funds? Don't know, Grant. But remember, if you're refused, you appeal. Remember the first letter, you appeal. I'm going to do something on that because they're appealing because they're so overwhelmed. It's just easy to say no, you're not done. No, you didn't dot that I. Screw it. And you appeal. Because if you appeal, it goes to another set of bureaucrats who worry about something else, and they all have to follow the law. So one bureaucrat, just like the Supreme Court. How could 9 of the smartest people in the world see a law 2 different ways, black and white, same law? How could they see that? That's astounding to me. I thought the law was the law. Everybody sees things differently. So same with the bureaucrats, where they approve your loan or not. Man, get some other bureaucrats to look at it, and you can do that for free. You don't need a lawyer or whatever. Find and the same with unemployment insurance, all these kinds of things. You appeal. See that lady there, the first one I read you. You told us, just apply. What do you have to lose? And if they say no, just appeal. You're never going to know unless you ask. Well, and just as that, I did just that, and boy, am I a happy camper. See, we all could be happy campers and just do that. See, you apply to appeal, Amy, appeal. And there's just Google appeal EDI loans. Don't get a lawyer, don't get an attorney or whatever now, because they're going to get money. They want to get money whether you get the money or not. You don't want to do that. And there's even some sample forms. I think I did even a video on that myself in the past on how to do that. Thank you from Middle Tennessee. Whoa, you got a good election. Down there. Actually, there's a lot to say. Actually, it's going to be interesting. We may be up for 2 weeks or 2 months trying to figure out what the results are. Well, what the hell, that's fun. We're going through stuff. We all have to go through stuff to get to the other side. Big old Grant book from the 90s. Glad I found you on YouTube. Yes, that's me. That's what I used to say, and nobody used it. It was sort of like diet books. Everybody buys a diet book. Nobody really does dieting. It's because it's hard. It's hard. Just like getting grants, it's hard. But see, that's why in Let's Go Help, instead of sending all those people books, man, I walk you through more. Okay, what do you want? Can I send you a book? Try to cover everything. You have to look in the book where it is, maybe not. This way, at Let's Go Help, you just go, as a member, you just ask me personally. I'm answering every, what do you call it, discussion. You start a new discussion in Let's Go Help. I get it. Me too. Yes, Vicki. I get it, and I show you, here's the places to start with. And if these don't work, then you try this. Now, it's a perseverance. When things don't work, you have to do something else. And that's the whole thing. When they held up my unemployment for going on 4 weeks, is there a way? Yes. Other relief, yes. But also, I would complain about you don't have it. Unemployment is very difficult in a lot of states, and they're way behind. They're behind like 6 months in some states. Crazy. And if you don't bitch, they're not going to do anything. The more you bitch, and your elected officials, if you can't get to the office, the unemployment office, and that's probably the most busy because they have the most customers that are complaining, what you do is you go to commoncause.org, and find out all your elected officials. They have a database there. You put in your address, and you get the websites of all the elected officials. And this is the time you're going to vote for them in the next 3 weeks, okay? And you have 3 in Washington. 3 in Washington, and 3 to 5, 6 in the state. You didn't do them all. What the hell do you have? The quality of health depends on the person in that office who gets that letter. Some are good, some are bad, like everything. Some dates are good, some dates are bad. They're all not perfect. None of us are. And just ask them for help, because they have special hotlines they could call in the back of their offices. You and I have to go in the front door. Elected officials go in the back door. And that's the way to use the system. That's the way to beat the system. Okay? And beat it, use it, or whatever. I mean, I don't know. If you want to change the system, you vote and you lobby and be an activist. That's one way. You want to use the system. I think there's so many things to do that you could survive and have fun doing. And there's help out there. It's just maybe not the way you would like to see it, maybe not the way you would like to package it or be available to you. So that's why you have to learn, go out there and see what is there and how you could use that. Or if you think it should be a different way, then you have to change the law. That's going to take longer probably. And if that's important to you, we have to choose things in life that are important to us, because otherwise we're going to give up because it's hard. What's easier, we'd be doing it, right? So that's why you have to choose the important things. So if you're way down in the gutter on no money and whatever, then that's the first thing. Don't be dreaming of your business starting making $1 million. Shit, you know, that's just a waste of time right now if you're financially strapped. Are there any grants to file for the, say, a barber shop, restaurant, retail store? Yes, there's all kind of. It's just you learning where all these things are. If you remember, I sent out a report that goes you all the places to contact to see what they have where you live. In other words, there's about 7 or 8 places that you contact. Okay, what do they have to start a barbershop, retail business? Okay, and just you call up and ask that question. Okay, and just like we talked here about how you call people and find out what's there. Because if you go and say, I want to start a barbershop, you're not going to find anything for barbershops. But they call it something else. So you have to know. That's why it's important to talk to people. And the one in here that I read you about, how she said you could even make virtual appointments with people. Okay, so that's what you want to do. Say, hey, can I make an appointment? I mean, that's cool. You know, and that's the way to do it. Because either you call, you get on hold, or whatever point. Okay, if you get on hold and you get that right around, you know, the person you get on the phone. Okay, how do I make an appointment to talk to somebody? Because every place I send you, their job is to help you. That's what they're paid to do. They have to give money to people who want to start a business. They have to help people with financial problems. Whatever it is, that's their job. They're the people I send you. I'm not sending you somebody that, oh, they may know about this stuff. In other words, a banker, you know, who may know about grants because he sells money. No, if he sells money, that's what he wants to do to you, right? Sell you some money. He may know grants, maybe not, but that's not his motive. I'm sending you to people whose motives are only to get you free money. And there may be complications and ifs, ands, or buts, and you got to figure that out. You know, because it's all different, and you're different, and everything. So it's like dating. You got to figure it out and make a match and give it a try. What's the worst that can happen? You won't be worse off than now, right? You know, at least start building knowledge, and that you can take to the bank.